Hi everybody and welcome to Mastermix in Conversation With. My guest today is based in Reykjavik, Iceland and is one of the most sought after remixers around. He started his DJ career at the tender age of just 14 and later in life moved to Los Angeles to study music theory, moving back to Iceland and continued his DJ and music production journey. He's amassed an incredible amount of hardware, synths and analog gear, and that very much marks his signature sound when he's remixing today. Please welcome my special guest, Hlynur Sölvi. Hlynur, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hey, here he is in his amazing studio. Again, thank you for joining us today. I know you're a busy guy, but I just want to run through a few questions. And obviously the best place to start is your musical beginnings as a young man, as a boy. Was the family musical? And what was around you musically that, started your inspirations into, the road that you would travel later?
Well, I guess the first memory I have of, getting into music is when I was 6 years old. I was living in Denmark. And so we were a couple of guys that went into the school at nighttime, which we were not allowed to do.
Naughty.
And I got a couple of drums. And that's how my love became for drums. I started as a drummer.
I see. So you broke into school with a friend. You had an accomplice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and was he a keyboard player or was he just?
I don't remember what he was, but I remember I took some drums. But the day after they were gone, everything.
Okay, so this is about 7 years old. So
7 years old.
Yeah, and what about at home? Your parents, the musical vibe at home when you were a young boy?
Yeah, my father, he always played the guitar. That was the only thing. It was not, everybody listened to music. My father listened to Pink Floyd. My mother listened to ABBA at that time. And I just remember my father listening playing the guitar. But right. I started drumming just like a really young age. I had I found some sticks and I was just drumming everywhere.
So, Hlynur, moving into your teenage years, perhaps, was radio an influence? And when did dance music or rhythm-based music start to, come into your heart?
Well, in Iceland, there was only one radio station when I was 13 years old. And so I got into going to clubs for kids here in Iceland. And there, I just saw the DJ and I just fell in love with DJing just right away. I think the day after I applied for a job there and I got it.
Wow. Straight away.
And then we had the a competition in Iceland. And my uncle, he had a club so I could practice there. And I won the competition and I started DJing when I was 14 years old in clubs. And the salary I got 3 12-inch a week. That was my salary for 1 year.
But at the age of 14, you were allowed to DJ in clubs were we living on the edge again there?
No, my uncle, he owned the club. So he voted for me, Yeah, it was okay. He was my mom's brother, so they talked and, I was allowed to do that.
Okay, so entering the world as a DJ at the age of about 14. So did you stay at this club for a while or did you start to branch out? No, you stayed there.
I stayed there. But I was playing it was a club that was in the 80s. A lot of clubs were opening every day. So you got a lot of practice, But then I started DJing in some other clubs when people recognize what I was doing. And there I started remixing there because, like I said, I got three records a week. So I used to buy the same records that the other DJ did. And from there, I could do my remix, on the 12-inch, maybe do the intro, all that.
Yeah, 2 copies, phasing, all that kind of stuff.
Chorus effect and, all that.
Right, okay. So take us into the next step. Obviously, the mixing, creating different versions, maybe some tape editing, what were your first major production steps as a young man with the technology that was available then?
Yeah, from there, I remember I saw a rack unit that had a sampler on it. So I was like thinking like, how can I sample and put that when I'm DJing? But I couldn't actually figure that out because didn't have any internet, and the papers were like there was no DJ magazines in Iceland and nothing like that. But then I went into a radio station one time, and they had the Revox machine. I think it's called
Right.
the same as you have when you are playing live. And from there, I started to do remixes. And just like a month after that, I was doing a weekly remix on the top 40 in Iceland.
Wow, this is a very you are making very
Yeah,
fast entries into these
yeah,
stages of career here.
yeah. Because when I started, when I was 14, I was kind of the only one that was beat matching. Because, like I said before, I was really into drumming, so I was really into four, 1, 2, count, 1, 2, 3, and then you
Mm-hmm.
do the mix,
Mm.
and nobody was doing that.
Wow.
So I hit it just right away up, and yeah, I
Wow.
got yeah,
Yeah, I think being a drummer as well, and as you said, there was no internet, there was no
no,
magical book that said how to do
no,
this, how to do that.
no,
But as a drummer, you
hmm
innately know, quarter notes, eighth,
hmm
16th,
hmm
compound time, everything like
yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
so that really helped. So from there on in, with the sort of technology, give it what year are we in when you sort of made the next step into sort of investing in studio equipment, early studio equipment, maybe samplers and a mixing desk?
Yeah, I think it was around 17. I got my first stereo sampler, the Roland S770, and I got the S10, which only sampled like 4 seconds, like every sound. And
Mm.
actually, this is a good story. I picked up a paper here in Iceland, and I went to a DJ course in London by myself at 15. And he had a sampler in that studio. And later on, I found out that I was in the studio that CJ McIntosh and somebody else was in, who did Pump Up the Volume.
Oh, Mars. Yeah.
Mars,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that'd have been Dave Durrell, CJ, and
Yeah, I was in
AR,
this room.
AR
Yeah,
Kane.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably a studio. I think it was a West London studio. Might even been
Yeah, I was.
Sam. So
Yeah,
that was the studio. So you took a trip
yeah.
just to learn and see and
Just
network and
I didn't learn a lot. I mean, they were just teaching me how to cut on the tape.
right.
That was, but it was just just a thing that I wanted to do. I just love DJing. DJing was my life for like 20 years. I did. I just loved it. I still love it.
So the musical diversity during the late 80s into the early
Mhm,
90s
mhm.
kind of begs the question, did you, in your DJing activities, did you specialize and make a name for yourself in one particular area, or did you cover all aspects of the dance music spectrum?
Yeah, all aspects. Like you could hear in my DJ remixes. I mean, I'm just all around.
Yeah.
I'm a top 40 DJ.
Mm.
That's what you got to do when Iceland is such a small country that you can't, you just have to please everybody,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, I understand.
So, but I remember I got like it was a big Ben Liebman did the Cool and the Gang mega mix.
Right.
I used to do that live,
Oh, you
you know.
emulate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just did that live,
Yeah.
and also I did live the U2 mega mix. It
Mm-hmm.
was like those huge mixes.
Right.
So I was just like straight into really like remixing the songs, changing the songs, buying
Mm.
samplers, and
Yeah.
at an early age, like 16, 17, I got the studio. I had a studio.
Right. And one thing that's very prevalent, and we will discuss this later, is your keyboard musical skills. I mean, when did this come into your life?
Well, at that time, I just wanted to learn more, and I wanted to wanted to know how to play the songs, and what was behind it, because I was such a drummer all the time.
Hmm.
So I applied for a school in Los Angeles, California, in
Yeah, that
Hollywood.
was another of my questions here. So
Yeah.
Los Angeles, why Los Angeles? What of all the places in the world to
I
go
had a
to?
girlfriend. I had a girlfriend at the time who was from. She was Icelandic, but she was going to move back to LA, and I just went with her. So I went there '89, yeah, and I studied music there. Yeah, I went to like general musicianship program for 2 years.
Okay, so a 2 year, and did you gain a qualification, official qualification, or
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fantastic. Oh, that's
yeah.
brilliant.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, that answers the Los Angeles question then. So,
There you go.
and then I take it you returned back to Reykjavik straight after that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then because when I came back, I got like two clubs who are like they wanted me to come and play for them, and then I just came back and yeah, moved. I was like back and forth for like 10 years, but eventually I just moved back and you
Okay.
know.
Let's talk about gear
Mhm.
acquisition syndrome, because it's blatantly obvious that you have been either blessed or cursed with this all
Yeah,
of your life.
yeah.
I mean, Hlynur, I've seen many studios in my time,
Mhm.
and I've owned certain pieces of gear and everything, but yours is incredible. And,
Yeah.
what you are setting at the moment, in fact, I'm going to go full screen on this because this is just part of Hlynur's studio. He's evidently got a bank of
Yeah.
synthesizers in front of him as well. But,
Mhm.
when did this start? And did you feel that this was something that I'm going to make sure in the future I have the best gear and I'm going to hold on to everything, never sell it, keep
Mhm.
it, and
Mhm.
and grow this collection? Was this just something that you decided back in the day to do, or has this just developed and grown as the years have gone by?
It has just s- since I remember, it's just in my genes to I love gear. I love analog. I love to touch things. And I mean, I sold a lot of things, but I bought them back. Like one time I said to myself, I'm going to buy everything back that I sold that I want. Because,
Interesting.
sometimes you're broke and sometimes you're not. And when I was not, I used to buy the, gear back. But the only
Yeah,
thing that I had that I've never sold is the MPC 3000.
the
That's the
original
only,
one.
yeah, the original one. Yeah, I got it.
Wow. Yeah.
And that has the best MIDI timing ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I was always looking at when the kick and the snare hit together, like in Cubase 24 or Cakewalk in the old days, it never used to hit like perfect together. And I used
Right.
to hate that. That was
Right.
one of the things. So I bought the MPC. But after
Right.
that, I just, I mean, I also got lucky. I bought like, I was in the studio with one guy, he quit, so I bought all his stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, and actually I use it all. I don't use any VSCs. The only VSCs I use is real strings and piano.
Right. So do you use a centralized DAW, a DAW, or is everything sequenced by clock, MIDI?
Yeah, everything is hooked up to MIDI, and it doesn't matter what keyboard I go on. I can always. This is getting pretty complicated now. I can always play that keyboard into the DAW. I
Mm,
mean, it's not MIDI through; it's always MIDI out.
mm,
So this is like we're talking like 50 MIDI cables here.
mm, mm.
We have a lot, and the drum machines. I mean, I got I got many drum machines, and that is going into a sync clock, that is going into the DAW, and when I push play on the DAW, everything just syncs up like.
Wow. And which DAW do you use for recording?
I used to be a big Pro Tools guy. I used to have the
Right.
Pro Tools HD, but I switched to Logic.
Logic. Yeah. Same here.
Yeah,
Same here.
Logic is such a great program.
It
It's
is,
just
and but
great. Yeah,
I mean, why would you need the plugins when you have? I mean, it's not
yeah,
just the keyboards; it's the outboard, it's the effects, the processing, the mastering
yeah,
chain, the compression,
yeah.
everything. Why would you have virtual instruments? But incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, some people are into horses, some people are into cars. I just love to be into keyboards. And actually, that to make music and make remixes, it's so much easier when you have hardware. So much easier because I mean the sound is just like perfect.
Mm,
I mean, there's a lot of times that I use maybe like two, three EQs a remix or a song.
mm,
You
mm.
know,
I totally get that, and I must actually touch upon that sort of late 90s, say 98, maybe 99 period when this kind of in the box transition happened.
Yeah.
Were you at any time tempted to go to actually? Did you experiment and go, okay, I'm just going to do everything in the box, because you've got a great desk there,
Yeah.
because this is, to me, my impression would be something that where you thought, I can see what's happening with everybody going in the box. I maybe try it, but this is my world. Did you dip your toe into that world?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, for a while I did that, but I don't know. It's just like I said before. It's I have to touch something. I gotta play something. For me, it's like a controller that like if it's when they say you can assign this button for cut or filter. For me, that's I think I've never done it in my life. For me, it's just like, and then what? I put another plugin on, and then I gotta assign that again, and then I go to the previous plugin, and the assign doesn't work. You know,
I get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's a privilege, and it costs a lot of money. I realize that, but
But
it's
you've done
not.
this over the years.
Yeah, it's not done in one day.
No, this is
Yeah, yeah.
30 years possibly of collecting.
And also, if you are open to it, I mean, if you ask the world for it, you're gonna get it. You just,
Let's look at your approach to a remix. First of all, how do you decide? Do you have a whiteboard with a list of these are the remixes I want to do? So first of all, how do you choose what you would like to do out of the tens of thousands of songs that you could? And obviously one thing that we all know from listening to your work is how crisp and the dynamic and solid and warm. It's almost like you can tell a Hlynur Sölvi remix by just playing the sound, hearing the sound. So your approach, your choice of remixing and your approach, and maybe a little bit of information, if you'd be kind enough, about your, the methodology, where you start and how you finish.
Yeah. Well, the song I pick, I usually pick a song that's one of my favorite songs. It started there, and then I'm always in the mindset of when I'm DJing, what song do I think that the songs I play. And actually, I never listen to anybody else remixes.
Really?
No, I don't do that, because if I do that, I said, "Oh, this is a good idea. Maybe I should try to." I don't do it. Even when I'm following somebody, and like I did it the other day, it was very popular remix, right? I just cut him out. I'm like, no, not to listen to what he's doing, because then maybe we'll have a song, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna take that song, because I just want to be, I don't want to do that, but I pick the songs like that, and I could pick a song when I'm in the radio, or my wife will sing a song, and I'm like, this is a great song, let's do that song. She loves Prince, and I did Prince the other day just for her.
Just to pay you back for the 909.
Yeah. And of course I have a list, of a lot of songs, but when I go over the list, it's like, no, I would never do that. No, I would never do that. And then I do the stem splitter. I do the stem splitter in Logic.
Right.
Because in the end, I don't use any stems.
Yes, I was just going to say, if you're, you would. So stem splitting is a reference. It's a study tool. It's not a use.
Yeah. No, I don't use it. And but I use the acapellas, of course. And I'm always trying to look for the best acapellas. But usually the acapellas that comes out of the stems after I work on them and EQ them, they're good enough.
Yeah.
Because they're the acapella that you will hear dry from like Logic, they're cutting off like frequencies. But in the end, when I'm done with a mix, I'm adding those frequencies again.
So they're indiscernible to the human ear. The artifacts disappear.
Yeah. But sometimes, I get in trouble. It's like, it's like a game. It's like Legos, you get putting, and then you're like, I'm doing a remix right now, and I'm trying to find the best version of that acapella,
Right. I mean, we talk about the actual the musical side of it, the chords, the keyboards, the bass, the synths, the strings. Yeah. You literally remake the original. You analyze the sound, you recreate it. It's astonishing the amount of keyboards and sounds I've heard on your remixes. I know you've recreated them. Yeah. Maybe not everybody does or appreciates or can understand that, but I do know, and that's astounding. So bravo.
But thank you. But actually, I can tell you a little secret what I'm doing when I'm done with a remix, and maybe it's like a very very special sound that's on that on that song. I will maybe put in like the when you do the stems, it's bass, drums, vocals, let's say everything else,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I will put a little bit up of the everything else,
Mm.
maybe, you
Mm.
know,
Mm.
and then you will maybe hear that sound that it's impossible to find.
Mm.
But I got few other tricks that I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
well, you can tell me those offline, just to show everybody as well. This
No,
is the master at work. What a great photograph. This is the man in his very happy place. I know
yeah,
you have numerous happy places, but this is
yeah.
one
This
of
is
them,
one of
isn't it? So,
yeah, yeah.
I've got to ask because I'm heavily into production and technology. What is that? Is that an SSL desk? It
Yeah,
is, isn't it?
yeah.
Wow.
I just simply love it.
Gosh.
After if I could choose one piece of equipment to take with me, even though I love all my keyboards and I love every keyboard has like a specific sound that I can't live without,
Yeah.
I would take the SSL desk.
Yeah. Yeah. It has that sound. It has.
It just has
It's,
something like magical in it.
yeah. And again, it's the organic connection between you, your brain, your heart, and your
Yeah,
fingers.
yeah,
It's.
yeah. And I actually mix I put in stems, but I actually mix on the desk. If I had a bigger room, I would put like a 64 channel and mix everything analog.
Mm,
I'm a DJ, I
mm,
love to mix, I
mm.
just
Yeah, very much hands-on. I mean, and the versions that you make as well. I mean, so I guess you are always making those with a view to the dance floor. That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
bottom line, isn't it?
yeah. Everything, and I started to make radio mixes also. And actually, when I'm doing the radio mix, I'm like, yeah, this is I'm thinking in the head, when I'm making the intro,
Mm.
and then the song starts.
It's interesting you mentioned, Ray. I know you've only just recently started to introduce, should we say, shorter or radio versions of your
Yeah.
remixes. What's your take on the? I mean, let's look at the younger population or the state of play where you see maybe on a streaming service an extended mix and you see the time 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It's. What's your take on the state of the attention span of the modern generation of music? Can we as artists and producers keep that journey, or are we all going to get pushed into this 2.5 minute world?
I don't think so.
Good, well said. That's it. Move on.
But actually, I got a comment, I think yesterday or 2 days ago on, I think, YouTube. He said, great mix, I love it, blah, blah, blah. Actually, you should have made it 8 hours. No, 8 minutes. So I'm like, yeah, that's good.
That's good. There is still plenty of love out there for the journey, shall we say? The journey, the DJ journey that we have. Okay, let's move from remixing to original tracks and songwriting. Has this been part of your world as well? Have you released tracks either under a pseudonym or as yourself as an original artist?
No, actually, I was talking to this the other day with my wife that I've been on a long journey since I started to be interested in music to get to where I am today. I've always done remixes. I've always done production for people, like producing, and people come to me and ask me, can you do a remix of that song? Like, Iceland is so small that there's no market here for that. I'm saying that the journey that I was into, until I got here was just a journey, like making music for other people that went, sometimes good, sometimes not, but then I just went full circle and I'm back to where I belong. I know I belong as a remixer, but not as like a producer for other people. The most boring thing I do is to sit in the studio and record vocals, or to have somebody else tell me like, yeah, we should like change the bass.
Do you know, I can relate to this kind of what one was put on the earth to be kind of thing as well. And exactly, yeah. I mean, for me personally, way back in the day, when everybody was chasing the sort of superstar DJ thing.
Mm-hmm.
I favoured more anonymity and being in the
Yeah.
studio. Yes, I could DJ. I was a DJ. I am a DJ. It's in my DNA. But the place I felt most comfortable and where I really should be is to create these remixes and these reinterpretations, and sometimes original tracks as well, obviously. But so therefore I didn't travel the world that my peers did at the time, and I was very much the studio person. In fact, I didn't even want to be in my own pop video. So I very much get that kind of almost I think some of us, like, I know it maybe seem a cliched thing to say, but like our work speaks for us in a way. But destiny is an unusual thing. I'm perhaps apologies if I'm sidestepping here with my story, but it's relevant to what you were saying, I hope.
For me, it was like always to connect to people. I love when I get comments like, I just got this track and I played it and everybody went crazy. I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. I don't care about anything else.
That's the payoff.
And like I went into the radio business for a little while, and I couldn't do it because I was sitting there and I said, I don't know if anybody's listening. I don't know if anybody's dancing. So the radio was not for me. But actually, I could be remixing all day. Could be sitting in the studio and remixing all day.
Kind of two of us, perhaps.
Introverts. It's called introverts.
Okay. On keeping on the subject of remixes, I won't say the most difficult. Let's call it what would be in your mind the single most challenging remix to do that maybe presented you with different obstacles to overcome?
My most difficult remix?
Guess so.
I don't know. Really, I can't answer that question. Every remix has some challenges in it, and that's mainly just because of the stems. To get the right a cappella. But actually, like I think like Quincy Jones songs, they're so complicated that sometimes you just
how to keep up.
Do it. Yeah. How did he play it? How did he play that? How did he do it? But then you can go to the internet and you can like write whatever and how to play it, and then you see somebody else play it. That's how. Okay, now I get it. It's also a lot of research. Like I'm remixing now. Well, it's coming out soon, so I can say it. It's a Rocksteady with the Whispers, and in the beginning of the song they have the snare, and it's like just solo the snare. So I just sample the snare. You just. That's what I love about remixing. It's like you can do whatever you want to do. Like I have what song was it? Actually, it's two songs that I sang myself the background vocals.
Okay.
Just for fun of it.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah. Was there any AI enhancement on that vocal, or was it actually pure Hlynur?
I just did the tuning. Yeah, and I was actually gonna go on Monday and buy like a big bag of percussion so you can just like play it yourself.
Just sidestep into the family side of life as well. I know you also have another business in your life as well as the music. If you don't mind telling us about you have interest in a restaurant over there, Hlynur.
Yeah, we have. So my father opened the first pizza restaurant in Iceland, the first Italian restaurant in 1979.
Wow.
And it had become the oldest restaurant in Iceland.
Okay.
So now, so my father is, he's getting old, more vacations. So we, like siblings, me, my brother, my sister, we are taking care of the restaurant.
Okay, so it's remained a pizza restaurant, basically. Then.
It's a pizza and pasta restaurant, yeah.
Oh, I'll be right there. Book me a table this evening.
I told my daughter, yes, she was meeting some guy. I said, you can tell him just free pizza for life. I'm a good catch.
Bonus, absolute bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's been a privilege. My life has been a privilege because I've never applied for a job, except for DJing. And I've always got that, and I have always had music in my life. I have never had to search for anything.
You've been blessed.
In love with music. Yeah, I was just blessed,
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And how do you with the business side of it and everything? How do you pace your week? Like how many days or hours in the studio, and some in the restaurant, and that kind of thing?
Yeah. Actually, I never work in the studio in the daytime. I mean, I go in the studio, listen to the mix. I do a little bit maybe, but
Really?
I love to do it in the night. Yeah,
That's so you're
like
more creative in the evening. Yeah.
yeah, 9, 10 o'clock. I'm all in until 2 o'clock in the morning. I
Wow.
love it.
Wow.
Got my
Okay.
headphones on, and if the remix is going good, I'm alone in the studio dancing.
Mm.
So I'm really a night owl. I love to,
That's a good
be in
feeling,
the
probably. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, I would go back to the days in younger days where I would be literally 48 hours without sleep, and my
yeah,
friend or assistant would be under the desk fast asleep, and
yeah,
I'd be just
yeah,
twiddling away. But
yeah.
I get it. If you're most creative at that time, then that is the way you should be.
I just think like the phone doesn't ring, and there's no people around, and you're just by yourself. Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah.
But I can't sit in the studio for like 2 hours. I have to be like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Go get some drinks, some water, something. A little bit
All
on the
right.
phone, and then I go back. So I'm back and forth.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking while you were telling me about the nighttime thing, I thought, well, does he go in at say 9 or 10 o'clock, and then your
Hmm.
head comes up at 2 a.m.? But no, you
No,
you
no,
break.
yeah,
So that's a good thing because you're
yeah,
stretching, get some
yeah,
rehydration, moving your
yeah,
muscles,
yeah. And I'm always
coming up.
standing up because I'm always going to the keyboards. And maybe this keyboard doesn't work. Something wrong with the cable, so I gotta fix that.
Of course, you're always standing up. You're always dancing. I mean, you're not dancing.
Actually, I am. I am. If it's a good remix, I just,
I get
why
it.
not?
Absolutely get it. So, Hlynur, obviously myself and the rest of the Mastermix crew are very much looking forward to your upcoming solo album for Mastermix. So it's quite the track list. For those who are watching before its release, I won't give it away right now. But there's some incredible 80s monsters on that particular selection. So how do you feel about, your work being now available to the Mastermix audience and, globally available?
Really excited. Really excited. I feel like it's the next step. I feel like it's a big step, and it's the next step. So I'm really, I appreciate it so much. You know, I just told my wife she was going to an interview with some Icelandic podcast something. So I told her,
Hmm.
"You're going on an interview in Iceland, right?" She's like, "Yeah, it's in Iceland, right?" "Yeah, it's an Icelandic podcast." "Well, I'm going in London, in England."
Okay, you'll pay for that when she gets home,
Yeah, I
though.
know, I know, I
You
know, I
really will. Yeah, you're laughing now, Hlynur. You're laughing now. So, Hlynur, please tell everybody who's watching where they can find you on social media.
Uh, we can be in contact through Facebook and Instagram.
Instagram. Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
TikTok. I put shorts there.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you ventured into the TikTok world? I'm scared of actually dipping my toe in, but
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I feel
okay.
like Facebook is a good place.
Yeah, it's hanging in there. I think
It's
a lot
hanging in
of
there.
a lot of the people who appreciate what you do are there as
It's
well.
Facebook. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Facebook.
So, Lina, I mean, you don't have to give us specific titles, but is it more of the same or any other more diverse projects coming up, or is it just full steam ahead on the Hlynur Sölvi train?
Yeah, full steam ahead. I'll do a remix every week. I try to. Some remixes are more difficult than others. Will take more time.
One question,
Yeah,
and a quick one as well, is mastering. You do that yourself as well, don't you? There's no
yeah.
mastering engineer involved in your
No, I
work.
got it's over here. I got a Fairchild here and a Shadow Hills mastering compressor here,
Okay.
and then I
Not,
master everything myself.
I'm not jealous. I'd just like to point that out. I am not jealous. Don't think for one second I am.
It's
Okay,
good
well,
color.
yeah, I sure it's time now for some food because the studio, I would imagine, is calling you in about 3 or 4 hours' time. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay, it's been a great insight into your world, Lina. I know we've dug deep in some technicals as well as hardware and specifics. But I'm sure a lot of people would find that very interesting. So thank you for your time, and it's always a pleasure to receive and play your remixes. So long may they continue. Hlynur Sölvi, thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Take care, man.